Even financially, Jesus has made me better. I know his name will stop some people from watching this, but everything I do is or should be rooted in his word. So to be completely transparent to you, I need to tell you about the root of my financial success. The goal of this YouTube channel is to help you get and stay out of debt to build sustainable wealth or even just financial peace of mind. So here are the 3 ways Jesus changed my finances. 1. Giving money regularly to charities, something I never would have done otherwise. 2. No longer working a second job to earn more money because time with my loved ones is worth more. And 3. No longer viewing money as a way to focus on myself by getting more stuff. All these 3 are key changes to my financial success and would have been even if I was not a believer. And let me explain how. The first one is counterintuitive to the max, and I honestly don't understand how this works, but I will share some of my educated guesses in a minute. Tithing. I didn't even know that this word existed before, and if you're like me and never heard of this, it's basically donating 10% of before tax income to the local church. The original meaning is actually from the Old Testament and is a Jewish practice way more complex than what I do. But yeah, as soon as I learned about this, I started giving at least 10% of my income back through our local church and a few other avenues of giving. The Bible promises to bless believers financially if we do this. And even more, it challenges us to test this promise. Sadly, some selfish and abusive people who call themselves preachers turn this promise into a business. But I'd rather call it a scam at best. But it's actually more like a con.
God will pour out his blessing and increase your finances tenfold, 100-fold, 1,000-fold.
Ugh, makes me sick. In my case, I even tithed when I had $60,000 in consumer debt, and I truly believe that it helped me pay that debt off. And I'm not even sure I would have been able to do this as fast otherwise. If I were not a Bible-following Christian, I don't think I'd donate regularly to a charity, but it's possible that donating to a cause you believe in would help your finances in the following 3 ways. 1. Giving definitely makes you feel good. It's not just a Christmas cliche. Giving is actually better than receiving. 2. I have a theory that if you have a strong belief in anything, whether it's in animal rights, social justice, taking care of the sick, the poor, and the needy, or providing a safe place for victims, when you get involved in a cause you believe in and give money that you earned, that keeps you accountable in all other areas of your spending. It'll make you think before buying that $10 coffee, if that $10 could have fed a child for a week. 3. Adding a regular expense to your budget that you consider non-negotiable will force you to reassess categories that you thought were essential. And that could be anywhere from your morning coffee to even your home internet. Mobile providers are getting better and better all the time. This particularly will build habits that will set you up for success because you will be able to keep more of the money you make and not increase your lifestyle with each raise. The second way Jesus changed my finances is working less hours, which actually gave me quality time with my wife and kids. But in terms of wealth building, it forced me to be more efficient. The simplest way to put this is I had to discipline myself to stick to only one job, and that forced me to be a student of wealth building because raising 4 kids is getting really expensive. This made me discover the single most life-changing concept for building wealth and setting up a passive income stream that anyone can do. Here it is. You need to stop working for your money and you need to get your money to work for you. The first few times I heard this, I didn't get it fully. I've heard it many times before, and I've always thought that it applied to only the richest of the rich who had millions of dollars to save and put in a savings account that yields 2 to 3% and just live off that interest. And that's not what it means. Eventually, most of us can get there if we have enough years left. But what it actually means is that we all need to be good bosses of our money and tell it where to go, or it will just go somewhere that's not productive. In other words, if we plan our financial future, we will build wealth. As surely as reacting to our financial situation as it unfolds and things pop up will keep us living paycheck to paycheck. This is so much more than simple budgeting, and I have an entire video on it that I will link in the description. The third way Jesus changed my life, the third way, is by smashing that like button below. Actually, no, the third way is the way I view money. Ironically, wanting to be rich to buy mansions, sports cars, planes, and yachts is exactly the mentality that would have kept me broke and living six-figure paycheck to six-figure paycheck, which I never would have attained with that mentality anyway. And that's a whole other video. Now that I no longer view money as a way to buy everything I want, I will actually be able to save and invest and be able to do what I want to do most. And that is to help people by teaching and mentoring them to become successful in all areas of life. That last point brings me to the opinion I have of all of this. I truly believe that anyone can become rich, whether or not they're a Christian. Sadly though, most people either don't have the discipline or don't believe they can. Some are also in the mindset that they don't want to make the necessary sacrifices. And the best example I can think of is driving an old car to avoid car payments, saving on average about $500 a month, and saving insurance on top of that because you don't have to get full coverage, which is a requirement by most lenders. There's also an idea among some Christians that being wealthy is sinful. This is rubbish because that is nowhere in the Bible, but that's another video in itself. If you're still watching, chances are you are not one of those people and you believe you can do this and you're willing to actually put the consistent work and effort into it. If that's you, watch this video right now and see how I went from a negative net worth of $60,000 to over $175,000. And make sure to subscribe to get notified of more ways to build wealth and hit that like button if you haven't already. Until the next one, peace.